Hello moms and dads, boys and girls. It's freezing outside today. You can feel winter is really here. I hope you have a nice cup of maybe a milkshake or hot chocolate, or maybe you had some soup today and you're sitting under the covers. Maybe you're sitting in front of the computer watching me talking to you, and maybe you have a nice blanket on top of you. I hope you are nice and warm. So let me tell you the next part of the story of Joseph. Can you remember that King Pharaoh had a very funny dream about the cows and the corn? Can you remember that, boys and girls? Yes. And can you remember the wine, the guy that used to pour the wine for the Pharaoh? Remember, he came out of jail. So you remembered that Joseph was the one that told him the meaning of his dream. And he said to King Pharaoh, King Pharaoh, I have someone that will tell you the meaning of your dream, because he asked all his advisors and they couldn't even tell him anything what it meant. So they took Joseph out of the jail and they shaved him and they put some nice clothes on for him, and then they took him to the Pharaoh. And he said to him, King Pharaoh, I don't know what your dream means, but God Almighty knows what your dream means. He wants to tell you what's going to happen in the future. He says, both these dreams have the same meaning, King Pharaoh. They mean that there's going to be 7 years of a lot. You're going to have a lot of harvest, a lot of corn. Your cows will be nice and fat, and you will have plenty, King Pharaoh. But after those 7 years, you are going to have a drought. Now, a drought, boys and girls, mean that there's not a lot of rain, everything is dry, nothing wants to grow, the people get poorer because there's no food. So that is what this dreams mean, that this is going to happen in the future, King Pharaoh. And King Pharaoh, I suggest that you get someone in charge. So for 7 years that it's going well in Egypt, that you build big storerooms and you put your corn and everything in there and you store it up, because there's going to be 7 years where it's going to be drought. So King Pharaoh, he was thinking, who can I put in charge of my kingdom? Who can I put in charge of my storerooms? And he said the only person that could tell me my dreams was Joseph. And you know what, boys and girls? He put Joseph in charge. He was second in charge of the whole of Egypt, boys and girls. Can you imagine that? He came out of prison, boys and girls. He had such a hard life. His brothers didn't want him. He was thrown in jail. He was left there for years. And now he was made second in charge of the whole of Egypt. Isn't that wonderful, boys and girls? It shows you, boys and girls, that you must trust in the Lord. Even if it's difficult sometimes, even if this lockdown is taking so long, boys and girls, remember Jesus is there. He will look after you. Something good will happen, boys and girls. Just hold on to him. Next time, I will tell you the next part of Joseph's story. Have a nice day. Bye.